Greetings, this is Mary Jane Hayden, and today I'm going to tell you about the changes we made to FDM 230, which is the chapter on signing and pavement marking. The first section I'll tell you about today is FDM 230.2.8. The title of this section was updated from Roadside Flashing Beacon to Enhanced Highway Signing Assemblies. This is because the accompanying Standard Plans Index actually includes more assemblies than just flashing beacons. In addition to roadside flashing beacons, Index 700-120 includes details for highlighted signs and electronic speed feedback signs. Highlighted signs are signs with the flashing lights that are built into the sign panel. You can see a couple of examples of these signs here in the center of the screen. Electronic speed feedback signs are the signs that provide a message back to the driver as they approach the sign. The message may be something that simply tells the driver their speed, or it could be something that says slow down, as shown in the two examples on the right side of the screen. So this section of the FDM was updated to reflect all the different assemblies that are found in Standard Plans Index 700-120. The next change in this chapter is in FDM 230.2.10, which is a new section for tourist-oriented directional signs. Up until now, this information has been found in Standard Plans Index 700-103. However, these signs are unique and have to be detailed in the plans, and for that reason the criteria actually belongs in the FDM and not the Standard Plans. Remember, the Standard Plans contain direction to the contractor, and the FDM contains direction to the designer. So we've extracted the relevant information from Index 700-103 and placed it here in FDM 230.2.10. The important details to note here are the maximum sign panel dimensions for the single column and the multi-column ground signs. As you can see here, for single column ground signs, the maximum sign panel dimensions are 4 feet wide by 5 foot 1 inch combined height. For a multi-column ground mount sign, the maximum panel width is 6 feet with a maximum combined panel height of 6 foot 8 inches. There were a few housekeeping changes to this flowchart, and I want to point them out. The two figures shown on the screen include the 2018 FDM flowchart on the left and the updated 2019 flowchart on the right. The first thing I'd like to point out is the removal of the references to the standard specifications within this flowchart. In place of the specs references, we added references to the relevant FDM sections, which is where we really wanted you to go anyways. The spec references didn't disappear from the chapter, they were just relocated to the applicable FDM sections. So the purpose of this flowchart is to have a quick and easy way to determine which pavement marking you should use, and then go from here and read more about it in the FDM sections listed in the flowchart. The next edit we made was to combine the boxes shown here on the left that said Transverse Other with the Traffic Channelizing box. The transverse markings that this flowchart is referring to are stop bars, the horizontal bars used in railroad crossing pavement markings, and the 12-inch bars of crosswalks, essentially the markings that are perpendicular to the direction of travel. The other markings that this flowchart are referring to are generally meant to be symbols such as bike lane markings, route shield markings, ramp exit numbers, and also the 24-inch bars of special emphasis crosswalks, or the rungs of the ladder. When in doubt, you should look at the text of the FDM, which clearly tells us which type of pavement marking material must be used where. Again, this flowchart is just meant to be a quick tool to help you figure out where to start. And finally, the last edit made to this flowchart was that we copied over the box that includes the other markings of special emphasis crosswalks, bike markings, etc., because this is a consideration for both concrete pavement and asphalt pavement. The final update to FDM 230 I want to tell you about is a new section we created for raised pavement markers, or RPMs. This new section simply says that Class B retroreflective RPMs are our standard type of RPM. Additionally, we've included a short paragraph on internally illuminated RPMs. These are RPMs that have LEDs inside of them, so they light up in dark conditions to enhance delineation and driver awareness. In this new section, we refer you over to the Traffic Engineering Manual, the TEM, for more information on internally illuminated RPMs. You'll see that the TEM provides a few specific locations that may qualify for using internally illuminated RPMs, and it also describes the procedure of approval to use them. So FDM 230.3.5 is a new section that gives some very generic guidance on RPM usage, and it also refers us to the TEM for specific uses of internally illuminated RPMs. This concludes the webinar on the 2019 updates to FDM 230. Thank you for listening.